So you're on the process, you realize it's a process of learning. As long as I enjoy it, it doesn't matter what the end
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
And you apply the vision, the principle of mistake is just another step closer to success, right?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a very powerful one. If you are able to look at the learnings, the lessons learned, the experiences, you can always improve yourself. And with every small improvement, you could be happy because you can enjoy, hey, I'm growing, I'm getting better, right? good morning, everybody, to the Kundalini Awakening Podcast from Karma to Dharma. It's the second episode. My name is Sandesh. I'm the happiness officer at the Kundalini Yoga Club. And I have a very special guest today. She's the second guest, so I did my pick. It's Suzana Agostini. I met her during the Kundalini Yoga coaching level 2, and we met, and her life story is just a true path, in my opinion, from karma to dharma. And I believe that this story might touch many of the users. So I want to welcome Suzana. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, hello, hi.
Hi, good morning, good morning. And can you tell us, introduce yourself, um, about life, where you are, where you come from?
Oh, of course, I'm from Slovenia.
Mhm.
This is very tiny country close to Italy and Austria and Hungary and
Mhm.
Croatia. And I live just 20 minutes from Italy and Croatia in Mediterranean. And this is very defined our culture and our way of living. To introduce myself, it would be much easier 2 years ago than now, because 2 years ago I was just very into corporate world, into leadership role as a director of one engineering company. And I lived that life for 30 years. From that, 20 years as in various leadership roles, and also very various companies, from the size point of view, but also the performing size of, and at the end of 21, I just stepped out just to be able to serve this world from outside, And now I work as a coach, trainer, mentor, and consultant. But what mostly defines me is actually that I integrate this also with my love to yoga. I started podcasting, I started hiking. I always traveled. I also did some many treks in past, let's say, 10 years. But last year I discovered this beautiful way of moving by walking, which is the most natural way of moving, because the transition from one me to another me, I did by walking the Camino in the
Mhm.
northern path, the northern way of Camino, till Santiago.
So you talk about a transitioning, interesting.
Yes.
And tell me about the process that you realize you are transitioning, and how did that connect to the Camino?
Um, well, the process, I think I see it only now. When you look back now and you
Mhm.
connect the dots, now you see the process, I think, started more than 10 years ago,
Wow.
when I was in very stressful episode of my life, connected to the work. And when you're ready, no, the teacher appears, no, and then
That's
I
what
just,
we say from the Kundalini yoga, or did you
yeah,
learn that somewhere else?
yeah. No, it's something that keeps coming because it really is like this, no. Because I was practicing yoga for, I don't know, almost 5 years before that, but it was just a practice, no, because close to the village I live, there was a small studio run by my friends, and I just went there regularly every week. I did well, but and they kept inviting me to some trainings and so on, but then I always resisted, no. But at one point I was really in so low that I said I have to do something, with me, because otherwise I will get sick. I will get,
Because of the pressure, you mean, at
yes.
work?
It
Okay.
was not pressure. It was just the conditions
Mm.
there, the what was happening, also disappointment of how this works. It's sometimes, it's not always the case, but in my case. And then I found myself, so then at one point I said yes to their invitation, and I found myself into the teacher training,
Oh,
so it was just by coincidence,
is that which teacher training was that?
Kundalini yoga teacher
The
training,
Kundalini yoga
level
teacher training.
1, and even
Okay.
then I said, okay, I just go to the first module, then I receive, so I still kept resisting, and then I went to the second, and but I was so amazed about all the knowledge, and I'm still am now, because I'm still learning that lies behind this practice now, and it's a big difference when you just go there and do your exercise or your kriya. Then when you do it more consciously, when you understand what is going on, when you know, so it's really a big difference. So I really recommend to everybody that they try to learn or listen more carefully what the teacher is saying, so what they're doing, because it's much more beneficial.
Yeah. So you're saying the yoga is not just some physical exercise. There is
No, of course not. Of
yeah,
course.
and what resonates with you now is that within the words, the stories around the lesson, they are more deep in a way.
Of
Correct?
course. Yes. And this is, I think, the continuous learning. We can, by yourself now. And at the beginning, you really don't understand much, And I was somehow afraid to admit it, but when at another training, I met one of the directors of KRI, and he
Mm-hmm.
also said, first 5 years I didn't understand anything. No, he
Yeah,
was
and
the
the K,
student
just a
of,
moment. The KRI is the Kundalini Research Institute,
yes,
correct?
yes,
Yes.
and he was he was the student of Yogi Bhajan themselves, and he said, I was just arriving, was attracted, but I didn't understand what he was saying, So it was the same for me, but it's, I think the first effect that I felt from yoga was the strengthening of my nerve system. So it was much easier for me to, let's say, survive within that environment, but also to do something for myself,
Let's focus to this challenging environment a little bit, okay? Because you say it was challenging, but in what aspect? Was it emotional at work? Was it mental? Was it physical? No need to call names, of course, but talking about challenges is definitely a part of this podcast. So could
Yeah.
you highlight the challenges you faced and how strengthening the nervous system, how that changed your the way you acted in such challenging situations?
Um, I thought many times about it, but it's not easy to explain. But well, the challenging was that, the challenge and also the stress. No, it's always, it's not that you work too much or that you're overloaded by work. No, it's most of the time if it's lack of perspective. No, that you don't understand what is behind, and or you don't know what is coming next, or you don't see yourself there. And it's also it's not the coherence with your values, with your purpose. No, it's not because I when I have a lot of work, and I see the meaning. No, and I believe it's that works for many. It's not difficult, and you never become stressful. No, because you see the big picture. No, but when it happens that you don't see the big picture, or you don't understand, or you just feel that you're working in some let's say not perspective environment, no, then you become stressful. Yeah.
Can I formulate it in a way that you didn't see the actions aligned with where you want to go? It wasn't clear whether
Yes,
the actions were serving your needs.
Yeah, this was also the
So it's because I don't have so much experience in corporations, but I do have some, and there's a lot of agendas in corporations, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of power plays, I would call them, and then it's not about unity or one mission anymore. There might be a lot of agendas, many directions. And was that where you got, I could imagine you got lost in where you want to go and where they wanted to go, and that created the pressure? Or
yeah, of course, but the companies are, or any company, it's actually an entity, no, and it works under certain cultures, certain values, certain, of course, strategic plan, and so on. And if you don't fit there, no, maybe you notice this at certain point, no, at the beginning, no, because you're energized when you come into certain environment. No, you see, wow, of course, you're energized by the new things, the opportunities you see. But at certain point, if this doesn't work in a way that's aligned with you, no, you become stressful, or maybe depressed, or not happy, and no, and it shows a different way with different persons. No, with me, it showed at that point that I didn't see where is this going, and I was not aligned with the values of the owners at that time, no, the company. No, it's yeah.
and what did that do to you when you discovered or unconsciously felt this disalignment?
The first was that I have to change something, no, and in this way, the word works that you first have to change. You have to change you, not the system. No, so I had to change, and I think with these processes, because not just yoga, I also did some trainings with soft skills and so on, and helped me to collect and gain the courage to do the change. I was not trying to change the system, because it's you're just one of the many,
So what was the change that you wanted then? What's the how? Yeah, describe the moment or the desire. We talked about transition, right? So it's becoming. It's about becoming conscious. The Kundalini energy, the energy of consciousness. So when did you become conscious of the change that you wanted to make?
Just through those trainings. That were these trainings usually with they call it soft skills, but you know that they are hard. No, it's to learn new skills. You do the work on you. No, and these trainings actually gave me the clarity. No, that I want to step out from the system, and also I somehow collected the courage to do it. Now, this is also, you sometimes what to do, but you lack the courage to do it. No?
Is
Because
that the strengthening of the
you're
nervous
so
system?
hard.
Is that the strengthening of the nervous system also?
Of course,
The
of
courage,
course.
yes.
Yeah, but also, with also by interacting with different environments, you get a different point of view to your situation, because last to see the sea is the fish, and sometimes when you're inside, you don't see the things uh, maybe in more objective way, Yeah.
Okay. And so you said you felt and you were ready. I want to step out. Okay.
Yeah.
So where to?
I needed another, period to find out that what I want to do. And that happened during this period when I met coaching. Because I was looking for something that will be based on what I know so far, what I work. So this, I'm economist, and to connect some yoga experience, some this soft skill experience, and to upgrade on that, and that's where Kundalini Yoga coaching came, found me now through Jasper.
Really, it found you.
Yes, of course,
So everything finds you in your life. That's
yes,
what I hear. So
yeah,
everything
you
comes to
just
your
need
path.
to be, open, this law of attraction,
Okay.
I believe in it, but it's more like I think I don't know who said it, but it's more law of resonance, because you attract what you resonance, so it's
Resonate. Yeah.
resonate,
Yeah.
no.
Yes, I so for me when I do recognize this too. It's as if one door closes, the other door opens, and you I sometimes I feel like, oh, so this is the challenge I'm ready for. It doesn't mean it's always easy, but you're like embrace, okay, probably this is the next step. It's like a trust that this is the next experience. Is that
Yeah,
what you also have? You're like, okay, probably this is my
I
next.
yeah, I think the most simple way to explain it now, when you are, I don't know, planning to buy a car, and you decide I want to buy a red car, and only then you notice how many red cars are around, Until then, you actually you see many colors of the car, but when you decide, or you have, oh, maybe I would like a red car, then you see what's on the market, And I think it's very, very similar in everything in our life, that you have to be ready, and you have to be conscious of what you want, and then you see the opportunities. Of course, this is not that then you just stay and wait. You still have to do your work, but it's just you are more focused on what you want and what you are ready.
Yeah, and you become more conscious of it.
Yeah.
If you give it consciousness, you focus on it, it grows, this consciousness,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So you say you stepped out, another opportunity came, but still you start to realize during this time it's not everything, and you were looking for other tools that would support you on your process to step out, and then you came to coaching, right?
No, it was not. Of course, I worked. I've served in that area, but I went more on this educational part, and I really invested a lot of time and money into education, to be clear what is, and I was really waiting. What can I do from that, with that, all that, all the tools, all that, and I went in one training in Rome, I don't know, 6 years ago. It was like leadership and success training, but it was like leading yourself, again. And there I met Jasper, but we were a very big group. It was 1 year training with several modules. And interesting, in all year, I never interacted with Jasper. No, only the last module, he approached me with some exercise and so on. And during the break, it was the last module. We went in home, and everybody brought the brochures, the flyers of what they do. And Jasper brought his. And when I found this Kundalini yoga coaching flyer, it was a really aha moment that I really recall even now. It was, I was coming to Rome all this year just to find this. No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we connected, and so
something was telling you inside, this is it. This is it.
But it really was of course, I've heard the coaching, but I never, let's say, I never contemplated it that could be my path. No.
And what is, because you had coaching training before, right? Previous to that, no? It was the first Kundalini coaching. So
because it was in my country, even now, just recently, this kind of support and these processes are recognized by the companies, and it's still very, very new now. And even if I was in actually top management at the time, it was never offered to us, and it would be much easier for me to survive and to be less stressful then, no? But I see that only now. But it was never offered that kind. So it was self-discovery. Now the bigger companies are starting to, let's say, to organize internal coaching or some trainings, or like they are paying for coaching processes, to their managers. But
so you went to Rome, you found Kundalini coaching.
Yeah.
You did the level 1 and the level 2. You already knew about Kundalini. Let's talk about Kundalini and the coaching. What did you learn about Kundalini in a combination with coaching?
That, of course, yoga, no? Maybe also I don't know other branches of yoga very well, no? But I think it's a very good tool, no, to help clients to overcome their blocks, no, in a different way, no. I have to say that now, and just 1 month ago, from the exam from my ICF certification in the International Coaching Federation, and we have to follow certain standards and rules and competencies, no, and we are not allowed to use this numerology or yoga techniques with clients, and I just do it by sight, no. But it's a very good technique. Just I usually of course it depends where the client is, no, with these discoveries. But even if I only suggest them to breathe deeply, no, long deep breathing technique, they already benefit from it, no. Just so simple, or just stay in silence, no, somehow.
So you connected the coaching. Coaching can be a very cognitive process, because it's about telling people not helping people to see different ways to a certain situation. And the Kundalini yoga is actually a very physical, not only physical, but it combines physical processes. And we know 10 bodies, but so you're combining that, right? When you do Kundalini coaching, it's not just a cognitive, but it's a holistic experience, so that the change can also manifest in your body.
Yeah, it's also by giving optimism to clients that there are simple things they can do
Mhm.
to feel better, or also to help themselves to overcome their challenges, whatever they are now.
And you just told also about numerology. Tell
Yeah.
about that.
Well, I'm still learning, but I use it um, with very good actually results, because when I share these numbers with people,
Mm,
they are very positively surprised,
mm,
and they find it very, very correct. No? Well, when you do the numbers with someone you know, no, okay, you can be more subjective and maybe to pick the right words, no. But when you do it with someone you don't know, no, then the value comes out, no, because if they recognize themselves into your explanation, no,
mm. It resonates, right? I think the
it
word is
resonates.
resonate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
So it's and they just said, okay, if you want, I can see your numbers and we can discuss now shortly.
Mm. And tell about the first time, who did the numbers on you?
I think was Jasper.
So,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, Jasper is Guru Gian, just a reminder.
Gurgian, yes, yes,
Yeah,
of course,
he's
Gurgian,
the,
yeah,
the guy.
yeah,
But no, no, let's call him Jasper because he
yeah,
listens to both, right?
yeah.
Um, so he did the numbers on you. Was there a moment before was like before you experienced the numbers? What did you think, or what um did you just immediately embrace these numbers, or were you a bit critical about
Yeah,
them?
because okay, my numbers are quite okay. Of course, save the karma, no, but it also that with my number karma number is 3, no.
Yes.
It put the logic into my, you know, behavior and my into my understanding of myself, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Jasper did a reading on you. He told you about your, because when you talk about the karma, it's a position where you are challenged in the outside world, right?
Mhm.
It's the
Yeah,
patterns that happens to you from the outside. And if I hear it well, the number 3 is the positive mind.
yeah,
So the karma means that if you want to overcome the challenges into the positive world, you had to activate your positive mind.
yeah, because
Yes.
it's very it's really not funny, but it's strange because uh, if you have free like positive mind in your karma, you actually see things negatively, you know, mostly.
Because you're challenged to find it positive, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
So
And this
can
is
you give us an
step down.
example just so that the people who listen can relate to just a situation where a relationship or a situation really made you negative?
No, it just I see, okay, this will not go well, you know, that I'm sometimes more pessimistic about things. But
Ah.
recently, because of this, knowing this, no,
Knowing
and
that you are naturally more pessimistic
yes,
towards
I
the
just
situation.
try to see it positive, no, and I have some like mantra, everything will be okay, no.
Wow, everything could be
And
okay.
it really, when I keep saying this, it occupies my mind, no. So you know, you have only one thought at once,
Hmm.
no, and
Ah,
yeah,
how nice. So you developed a mantra for yourself to remind you to be positive and to be more balanced with your pessimistic side.
yeah, just not to cook myself into negative thoughts, no.
It's
Mm,
the same thing with me here. It's my second podcast. You were the one who advised me the technology, which I applied, and
yeah,
I'm very grateful to that. Thank you very much. That's people. It's because of Suzana that we have this
mm,
podcast everywhere now in the world.
yeah.
Um, so you're on this path. Tell me then the Camino, because you also started traveling, right? Once you understood you wanted to change, we talked about transitioning. Moving is the tell about your journeys and how did that relate to your, can we call that awakening?
Well, I was traveling since forever, quite a
Mm-hmm.
lot, and in a very different way. You know, I almost never travel with the travel agency, so it's also I think I travel in a like with interrail with some group. It's in a different way, of course, than with family, because you as you evolve, also this way of traveling around the world evolves, and your traveling as a person changes, no, evolves all the time, no. And as I told you before, in the last 10 years, we always was a family, and last year I traveled mostly with my husband. We took some short trekkings as a part of some travel trip, but this was from 1 day to 1 week, no, depends on the country. And when I finished my previous work or life in corporate world, I said for transition I should do something, no, maybe go somewhere and my first idea was to go somewhere where there is a nice beach, and I stay there, read books and so on. But I don't know, so many information about this Camino kept coming in last 6 months before I went. They said, why not Camino? It's close to my country, it's safe, and you are actually all time in the nature, you're moving, and you're every day you're somewhere else, no? And then I started to read some books about, and then I just bought my flight ticket, no? And I was not very...
Alone or with your husband?
No, alone, because I went 40 days.
40 days, the magic number, 40 days.
Yeah, of
Changes
course.
something,
Yes, I deliberately choose this, no? And I choose the northern way because it's on the north side of the Spain by the beach, and my trigger was, okay, it's by the coast, no, and I wanted to see this part more in detail. And I wanted to avoid crowds, no, because the most popular Camino is French way, but it's much more crowded, no, and I just wanted to be in silence, no. So I went, and I was not, I didn't inform myself very much because I would like to go into unknown, no. And the first week was really, really tough, no, because you walk 25 to 30 kilometers per day, and it's the northern way. It's the most difficult because it's very uphill, no, and you cannot be trained that much, no, because before you leave, you do some hikes, but you don't walk every day so much, no? Because you have there's a lot of preparation before you go if you don't want to be disturbed for so much time, no. But I enjoyed so much, but because this way is really, really lonely. You don't meet anybody, no cars, no people for, I don't know, 3-4 hours most of the time, no.
So lonely, but you enjoyed it. Tell me.
And I enjoyed so much. I cannot tell you, no. I cannot tell you. It's
But what did you enjoy then, if it's so lonely?
Just being there, observing, and the first half hour, when I came to a forest or something, I was listening to Japji, no.
Japji say, okay.
Yeah, and then I just walked, and when I became tired, or I just wanted to stop myself, then in the afternoons, usually, after 20 kilometers, I started to listen audiobooks, and or just music, something. And of course, I try to walk with. I met beautiful people there, because in the evening you meet with other pellegrinos. No, I met. I found few very good friends there, but we try to walk together. But it's everybody has its own rhythm. No, and everybody want have their own habits, where to eat, what to eat, and so on. No, and I think it's I found that it's the best way to walk alone, and I still think that, you know. Yeah, and what helped me also to stay positive and enjoy that I started to write a travel log on the way, and also on the last module. When we met just before I left, no, in the first module, Maike, our colleague, gave me invited me to follow her on her trip to Mexico through Polar Steps app.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember.
And so I found it very nice. So I started to post daily. But initially it was only because my mom was so worried how I will, you know, she's always worried where I am still now. And
Our
said,
dear moms, thank
yeah,
you for worrying us so much.
yeah,
But we're fine.
yeah. And then I said, I said to everybody, I will not send you any photos or reports. I just put their photos on Polar Steps, and I write few lines where I am and so on. And if you want to follow me, you find me there. So yeah, and that happened. That it came out a quite nice travelogue. It was also nice accepted from others, and it really helped me to observe better. No,
Observe
and then
what? Yourself?
myself, but also the environment. No, and I rediscovered my love of writing. No, so it was very beneficial. No, and this year I did another Camino just from Porto, because I didn't have so much time, but it was not that deep like the first one, of course.
Because that one was the unknown. You step onto the
Yeah,
unknown.
yeah.
Wow. And we also the blog is called Kundalini Awakening. Could you describe your moments? Did you have an awakening during Camino, or was it somewhere else during all your Kundalini
But
practices?
it was, you know, the whole Camino for me was like 34 days meditation, because the last
Wow.
few days I walked 44 days. Then at the end, my husband joined me. Really, I can say it was just a meditation. So it was really a yoga, because you know, our whole life is yoga.
What an insight.
Yeah.
Explain.
We do, no? It just depends how conscious we are about it, no? And I was also thankful, thanks to this travelogue, I was very conscious in this way. No?
So if we're coming towards an hour, I think we
Yeah,
wrap this. So if I can conclude, you're on a path of more and more consciousness. You've
yeah, you can
invested
say.
into many tools to develop your skill sets, coaching or probably other training tools, and then you've gone through the Kundalini yoga practices and coaching, and then you even ventured into the world more consciously by the Camino and even keeping a travel log. You really gave a new definition to service the world and to service yourself. That I think that's why I've chosen you. You've inspired me. I even feel I want to do the Camino right now when you talk about like this. 40 days
Just do
alone.
it, just do
Wow.
it. Thank
Just 40 days alone. I have to negotiate
No,
with my
but
family.
you know,
No,
they're
the 40
like,
days is it's a beautiful number.
yeah.
If I do it, I probably would go for the 40 days like you would do because it's impactful. Okay, to close off, right? You made these changes. tell to the listeners, what would you tell them to get them into action to make the change?
Just follow your heart,
Mm,
you know, and do something little.
mm,
Just something. Do something differently, out of your comfort zone.
wow, that sounds scary, but that's what you do
No,
every
yeah,
day, right?
yeah. Somehow, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you very much. Let's do that. Let's do something small today. So even if you do a different road home, just do something small out of your comfort zone. I heard it keeps you young.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel in this way, because it's
Mm,
everything I do what I really try to enjoy.
mm. And honestly, I know you now for some time, but
Mhm.
Susanna, I did not feel you get older. Every
Mhm.
time I speak, I think you're getting younger. The light from your eyes is getting more bright. So well on you. Thank you so much for being here with us on the Kundalini Awakening podcast from Karma to Dharma. I hope you all enjoyed the story of Susanna. Thank you for listening and see you in the next podcast. Thank you, Susanna.
Thank you for having me. Bye.